Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. A very cold and rainy MadWorldTarot on the 1st of May. It's Workers' Day here in South Africa and around the world, May Day as it's still called in some places. If you're having a day off, enjoy it. Most of us somehow are still working today here where I am. And we're going to look at working in the next reading, being a working mother. But for now, in this reading, we're going to be looking at the living Nostradamus. I wasn't aware that we had a living Nostradamus, but apparently, according to the Daily Mail, we do. A Brazilian by the name of Athos Salome, Brazilian psychic. And he has been giving an interview to the Daily Mail because he has seen Meghan Markle's future and made chilling prediction about it, according to the headlines, but it's not so chilling when you actually get into the nitty-gritty. And the nitty-gritty is that she's going to have a rubbish 2025. Well, I think we all know that by now. She's going to fall out with Netflix and as ever is going to disintegrate. And as a result of some sort of revelation and more controversy later on in 2025, she's going to disappear from the public eye in 2026. Way overdue for disappearing from the public eye, I would say, but 2026 she's going to retire from the public gaze. And then she's going to re-emerge as a reimagined kind of person, intent on humanitarian things on the one hand, girls, women and girls kind of stuff, and also Africa and Asia and that kind of a thing. But she's also going to resume her brilliant film career, and we've seen what a wonderful actress she is, who was held back. It was her modelling career she was held back from just because she had freckles. Her acting career was thwarted by the fact that she was biracial. Otherwise, she would have had a brilliant acting career. And we've seen how brilliant her acting is most recently on the podcast with Jamie Kern-Lima. But she's going to take to the boards again. Well, not the boards. She's going to take to film again and startle and amaze the world with her acting aplomb, to the extent that by 2027 she's going to be doing the rounds of the film festivals. This Brazilian psychic mentioned Cannes and Venice as particularly places where she would pop up. So you can expect to see her on one of those speedboats shooting along in Venice, with the wig falling off, all the hair extensions flying behind her, and possibly her old mate George Clooney will be there to receive her. I'm being snarky, just a little bit. I have the Mind's Eye Tarot on the tarot table, and we're going to dig into this. I've been meaning to for the past few days, but finally got the gap. We're going to see what the cards have to say about Brazilian psychics' predictions. Not so chilling forecast for Meghan Markle, in my opinion. We're going to test this year and Netflix, and as ever, I think we've already all agreed that they'll disintegrate, but let's just check. 2026, I want to know the general vibe for her. Is she really going to disappear? What will we do without her? And then I want to know about her blossoming film career that is going to take us all by storm and win awards at film festivals. So we're going to check in on that. I want to know about her reputation, because this guy seems to say that she's going to restore her reputation by doing all this humanitarian stuff. So we're going to ask about that as well. And then we are going to ask finally what Meghan thinks of all of this, because we know she reads everything, especially in the Daily Mail. So I'm sure she's well aware that Brazilian psychic Athos, whatever his name is, Salome, has predicted this for her. And so I want to know just finally what she actually thinks about his predictions. Does she think they're spot on? Or does she think that it's a load of BS? So that's what we're going to look at today. And, okay, very, very slick cards, because I don't use this tarot deck very often. But let's see what the Mind's Eye Tarot has to tell us about Meghan Markle's future. And he really was, he didn't bother at all to mention Harry or the children, so we have no idea about any of that. And it wasn't the future like the next 30 or 40 years, it was the next 2 or 3, really. So that also in itself was quite interesting, I thought. Packed a lot into the next 2 or 3 years, including a complete disappearance from the public eye, and then managing to make a huge comeback as a humanitarian and an actress. So wow, all in the space of about 2 years. But that is Meghan Markle, of course, as we all know by now. So let's see what's going on. Let's remind you, it's tarot, and it's for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinions or speculation. Oh, there's the devil. And of course, it's just energy I read here. And disclaimer in the box below. The devil in reverse. The devil, the devil, the devil. And of course, she does show up quite often in this energy of being quite toxic and obsessive. I would say the obsession can be seen in the way she has mimicked Wallace Simpson, allegedly Princess Diana, and the way she kind of stalks is the wrong word, but I can't think of the right word right now, so we'll have to just make do with that. The Princess of Wales as well. So obsessive energy, toxic energy, deceptive energy, all in there. Very angry, addicted kind of energy in the devil. Somebody who might want to shake off her devilish reputation and restore it and come back in this angelic guise that this living Nostradamus seems to foretell. So let's see if she can turn it all around from she-devil to angel in the next couple of years. That's our underlying energy. Let's get to the meat of the reading. What are we dealing with today? We're dealing with the Ten of Cups. I saw this card flip when I was shuffling just a few seconds ago. Ten of Cups, but it's in reverse. We're dealing with someone who's really very unhappy. Snoring in the background is the Jack Russell, just by the way. The Ten of Cups in reverse, somebody who hasn't found their happy ever after, whose emotional fulfillment is really out of reach, has turned to ashes. Whatever she thought was going to be her emotional blanket, her well-being, has just disintegrated around her. Her family life, her future that she thought was assured with the has-been, the children, the life in California, all the rest of it, very miserable. So somebody who's really failed to attain their emotional goals, their emotional well-being is very much in doubt at the moment. And I'm seeing in comments around and about at the moment that people are really commenting on how unhinged she looks. She came across in that Jamie Queen Lima interview as quite a nutter. And that's my inexpert opinion, but not only mine. A lot of people were saying, wow, she really looks quite cray-cray, the way she's coming across. So that's just by the way. That's what we're dealing with today. Somebody who wants to change the way they are perceived, but who's very unhappy and very dissatisfied at the moment. So let's have a look at her 2025 just quickly. The Netflix deal, well, how's that gonna go? A huge failure. The world in reverse. It's not going to end in success and awards and well done and let's renew it. It's going to be a spectacular failure, world in reverse. That's going to be very visible to all of us. We might get a sort of a fudge, and we'll have one-offs. We're always open. We value our experience with the Pentacles. Old Ted Sarandos, he does seem to be someone who can schmooze with the best of them, and we're always open to them, and we value their contributions and their blah blah. But we're going to be able to read between the lines and say, a disaster, very obvious disaster with the world in reverse. So what about as ever? He said there's going to be more problems with the supply chain and whatever. It's going to be a great debacle. It's already a debacle. So what's going to happen there? I've got the Chariot. That is pushing ahead with it, and she does seem to be sounding as if she's going to be about to launch a new tranche of products. Why keep with the same old thing when you can just bring out more weird stuff? Clearly. So she's not going to give up on this just yet with the Chariot. There's something she's quite intent on doing. So debacle or not, I think she's going to push forward with it, and I don't think she's going to let go of it that easily. The Netflix thing is going to be the thing that disappears from her life in 2025, mercifully, but not as ever. Well, she doesn't have anything else right now. She hasn't rediscovered her acting chops at this point, but perhaps she'll be inspired by the Brazilian psychic to do precisely that. Let's get to 2026. More interesting year as far as I'm concerned. General tone for her of 2026 according to the tarot. Ooh, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And that is the card of work, effort, accomplishment, money, well-earned, hard-earned money, reward for hard work, and it's in reverse. So financial trouble. That's the first thing it tells me, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Second thing it tells me is that she really doesn't know the meaning of hard work, and hard work seems to be the theme today, and she doesn't know the meaning of it with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We've heard her about the 1 hour a week working for Archie well. We've heard how exhausting her mornings are as a working mother, but then actually it's the nanny who does everything. We've seen how lazy Harry and Meghan are when it comes to Spotify. She's struggled to get any product out for Netflix and for Limonada. So lazy. Ace of Pentacles in reverse is lazy, not mastering things, not working diligently at things, and basically failing, giving up on all of these things. So I think if she pushes through with as ever for the time being, by the next year, by 2026, it's going to have disintegrated basically, and she's going to be scratching around for something to do, something she can monetize. Well, we know the children are around, but no sign of them, no mention of them by the living Nostradamus, and no sign of them in the cards, interestingly. Is she going to retire from the public eye and retreat and lick her wounds? She's going to do that. I've got the Page of Pentacles. That's not a retiring card at all. That is more of the same. It's got a bit of a grifter vibe. It's trying to make deals. It's trying to start new contracts, new things, learn new things, because the Page of Pentacles is the student of the tarot, the learner of the tarot. And so it's not a Four of Swords. It's not a Hermit. It's not a Ten of Swords. It's not that kind of energy. I think she's really going to be scratching around, trying to find a way of earning a living, earning being the operative word, because there's no sign in here of a very wealthy lifestyle, of a benefactor, of anything like that. Interestingly, it looks like it's all falling on her next year to actually keep herself afloat. So no, I'm not seeing retiring. I'm not seeing disappearing. Not with the Page of Pentacles. I'm seeing more annoying, all over the placey kind of stuff, along the lines of what we've seen this year. Relentless sort of self-propaganda. So what about this resurrection of her film career? Is this really going to happen as a result of her withdrawal from the public gaze next year, which I'm not quite seeing? Are we going to see her back acting? Ace of Wands, it's possible. That's a yes. And Ace upright. And really, as I say, this leads me to say that she really has got nothing left by the end of this year, even early next year. What is left apart from some kind of acting role? This guy says it will be with a female director, possibly European, possibly Iranian. She'll do something non-Hollywood, non-blockbuster. It'll be a small film, an indie kind of a film that will surprise people, because it will be quite a humble role, and she'll really have to dig into her own character and her own life story in order to carry the role of. I don't think she has her own character and her own life story, but that's just my personal opinion. But he could be onto something here with this film thing with the Ace of Wands, because the Ace of Wands is very actor-like. It's very dramatic, theatrical, creative. Look at me, hello, here I am, a fresh start with the Ace of Wands. So it's possible that she might actually go back to this because everything else has flopped. This tells me more and more that there's no has-been around, because I don't think she would go back to acting if there was a has-been around. Just my thought, my opinion, of course. And all of this, as we all know by now, is all my opinion. So is it going to be startlingly good to the extent that she's going to be doing the rounds of the film festivals, Cannes and Venice and whatever else? Are we going to see that? Well, we've got the Eight of Swords, and it's in reverse, which is liberation energy. Somehow freeing, breaking restrictions, breaking bonds, liberating oneself. So it is possible that she might find something in herself that she hasn't found up until now. If she's honest with herself about why she has failed so spectacularly, she might do a bit of self-examination somewhere along the line. I'm not seeing any signs of it here, but if she's forced to do this somehow, then it's possible that she might reveal an aspect of herself that no one suspected was there. Even she might not have known it was there. And these things do happen. People do find hidden depths. And the Eight of Swords in reverse tells me that she might just break out of some self-restricting view. And that would be that she's meant to be the hot chick, doing unfortunate sex scenes in things. And she's too old to be that, and undesirable, in my opinion, to be that. So she might have to see herself differently and represent herself in a more honest way, because I think the grievance that most of us have with her is how inauthentic she is. She's always using the word authentic, but in my personal opinion, she's the least authentic person I have ever come across, both in my own world and in the celebrity world. Just saying, as I said, my opinion. So, how about her reputation? Is she going to be able to convince us that she's a humanitarian? Is she going to emerge genuinely as a humanitarian as a result of all these things that she's going through? I've got the Hanged Man, and it's in reverse. A different worldview. It's very similar to the Eight of Swords in reverse. I actually nearly referenced this card when I was talking about the Eight of Swords. She might just stop being so filled with self-pity, which is inherent in the Hanged Man, that you feel like you're the victim and you're sacrificed and everyone's mean to you and you're helpless and all of that. She might actually see things differently as a result of the way her Hollywood dreams crash and burn, and possibly her marriage as well. And she might have to go to India, or she might have to go to Africa. She might have to sit in an ashram and meditate and sackcloth and ashes and all that kind of stuff, and gain a new perspective. It's possible. It's interesting that this energy is showing up twice in this reading. So if she does the work, and this guy ended this interview with the Daily Mail by saying this is her path that he sees. It's up to her if she wants to tread the path, follow the path, which is a nice get out clause for a psychic. I see this in your future, but it's up to you to make it happen. It's a great line, really. But I'm seeing it too as a tarot reader, so yes, I can laugh at myself now. How about generally her reputation? Is it possible to restore her reputation at this point? I'm, of course, coming from a perspective where her reputation is absolutely destroyed, and that's the space that I inhabit when I consume media, but there's vast numbers of people out in the world who probably don't even think of her at all from year to year. So is it possible for her to become popular again and desirable? I've got the Lovers showing up as the answer to that, and that's kind of a reconciliation, a reunion energy, depending on the choices she makes. She could it might also depend on life partner. There might be a new life partner that she comes across differently with, rather than the whinging that South Park picked up. And not South Park, was it South Park? Yes. And And that was the ruin of her, basically, immediately. If there's a different partner, if there's different life choices, it looks like people could respond positively to her. So she's got her work cut out. She's got a journey ahead of her in the next couple of years, according to the cards and according to what this living Nostradamus had to say to the Daily Mail. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So I suppose everybody has some chance at redemption. The redemption arc is, of course, the most popular story arc. And why not Meghan Markle give it a shot and see if she can be authentic and if she can redeem herself. What does she think about this forecast? It's not a prophecy. This prediction, better word. What does she think about it? Two of Pentacles. Choices card, the Two of Pentacles. And so she's not horrified by it. She's not dismayed. She's not impressed by it either. She's not thinking, "Ooh, I better follow this path." She is weighing it up. Two of Pentacles, because that's what you do when you're in Two of Pentacles energy. You consider and you think, do I want to put all my energy into the pentacle in my left hand, or do I want to put all my energy, prioritize the pentacle in my right hand? And it's got the energy of it with the Two of Pentacles of I can have it all. I don't have to give up the one thing to have the other. So I can be Netflix as ever, Hollywood, and I can be humanitarian and popular and actress and all the other things. She's not ready to give up the one thing in order to do the other thing. And this little journey here is telling me that in order to get through this world in reverse, and Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and trying to hustle and grift Page of Pentacles, to this new start in the acting world, this new vision of herself, and possibly even a bit of a redemption arc, she's got to let go of this. It's like there's that half of the reading and that half of the reading, and it's really up to her, and she hasn't decided it yet. It's amazing that someone who, in my opinion, is so basic and talentless and irredeemable has so many opportunities. But I guess she's kind of a meta story. And that's why we watch her, and that's why we talk about her, and that's possibly why she's being given this, not second chance, third chance, fourth chance, it's about her 10th chance at really being a global, I'm going to use the word icon, much as I am horrified by the notion of Meghan Markle as a global icon. But that's what the cards are telling me. We will have to wait and see how she actually plays this hand and what choice she makes. And the choice card is sitting right next to her there with the Lovers. It's really her choice. If she wants to turn this around from devil to angel, she's got a journey to go on. She's got a path to follow. She's got work to do. She's got self-examination to do. Only she can do it. No sign of Harry in that reading. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.